Hello, Pain Stream people. Hope you're doing well today. Week 6 of our lockdown here in Nueva Jersey. And, everyone's getting a little crazy, I think, but also to accepting that this is somewhat the new normal. Things are looking up in New York and New Jersey, so that's positive. And, we just go with the flow and remember our positive messages to keep us going. And part of what keeps me going is doing these videos. So if anyone's watching, thank you, because I'm doing this for everyone else to share the things that I've learned in my life, but also but it's helping me. So thank you. So I want to start with some things that I learned from week 5 of the Science of Wellbeing, a class, Yale University class by Professor Laurie Santos on Coursera. And this week, it's kind of a long week. There are 10 weeks in total. And the first 4 weeks talked about why and how we misunderstand happiness and what makes us happy, and how we pursue things that don't make us happy, but we think that they do, and we pursue them mostly because everyone else does, and why our brain confuses us as to why we think these things will make us happy, but they ultimately don't, and why we need to pursue the things that will make us happy. Identify what those are, and then pursue them. And week 5 talks about really how to pursue them and strategies for pursuing happiness in your life. So the first method is to find your signature strengths. So there are about 50, and when you take the course, there's an exam, an online internet exam that you can answer a bunch of questions, and it'll tell you your signature strengths in an order from your top strength all the way down. And she says, in order to be happy, you need to use your 4 top signature strengths on a daily basis. So you need to find out what those are, and then you need to use them. And that's one strategy that you can use, even if you have a job that you don't like, even if you're in situations you don't like. If you're in a relationship you don't like right now, for the time being, maybe at one time you did and it's no longer serving you, you can try these strategies. We talked about how we like new and different things that don't stay around long. But there are things in life, marriage, kids, family, job, that are situations maybe where you live that you don't like, but maybe you can't change them. Or you don't want to change them. So these are strategies for helping you to achieve happiness even with these things, that it is possible, and it is. So the next strategy is to find flow. And flow, she shows a grid with different quadrants, and one scale is the level of challenge, and the other scale is the level of your skill to meet those challenges. And flow is, artists, musicians, athletes, they often talk about being in the flow, and that's where you really get absorbed, and you forget about your surroundings, you forget about time, you forget to eat, and because you're in this zone where you're just so satisfied and happy, even though you might be working hard or struggling. And that zone is, I think there are 6 quadrants. Well, that would be 4, right? So 6 segments. And this segment is where you're using your highest skill and there is a high level of challenge. So the goal is attainable, but you need to exercise your skills and really expand them and reach out for that goal to a high challenge. So get in the flow. Other things to seek are opportunities to do kind acts, social connection, and social media is not necessarily the same thing as social connection. Time affluence. So it's not necessarily that you have money to do things, or if you're affluent with material wealth, it's the ability to do the things in your life that you want. So maybe you think if you have more money, you'll be free to do the things that you want. Well, if you're very independently wealthy, multi-millionaire, you may. I mean, I think we see enough in the media about people who are billionaires who aren't happy. So it was interesting. We were getting bored last night for like the first time so far, and we were like, okay, what can we do? So we said, oh, let's play some trivia. So we played a trivia game, and one of the categories was causes of death of musicians, and oddly high number of them were plane crashes and aspiration of vomit and drug overdose, suicide. Those are tragic, terrible things. But you can see that those are examples, and I use what Princess Diana, she didn't die from a drug overdose, but, she was a princess, right? Isn't that everyone's fairy tale, to be a princess? And, I read her biography or autobiography, exceedingly sad. And, Elvis Presley, Prince, Michael Jackson, all of these people seemed to have the brass ring, right? And all of them, though, were medicating for whatever reason. But to me, that would indicate a life that may not be totally satisfying, which is really so sad. So it's really time affluence that you're looking for, the time to do the things in life that you want to do, which is weird because now that we have this time to stay in and do those things, are we doing them? Do we know what they are? A lot of people are complaining about being in. It's a gift. It's a gift. If you're healthy and you're inside, this time is a gift to spend with your family, to do whatever you want to do. Within the confines of your house, but it's a time of introspection and looking in, and I think I hope that people are seeing it like that. Of course, if you have tragedy in your life because of this, then I feel horrible for you, and that's terrible. I'm not saying this time isn't a very difficult time for a lot of people, but I am saying that there is good that you can take out of it. Next, stay present. Avoid mind wandering through meditation. So there are different parts of our brain that get activated when we're doing a task and when we're just mind wandering, which is thinking about the future, thinking about the past. And those different areas of the brain correlate to either depression or happiness. And one way to the task part, when you're doing a task, your mind is distracted and you're more content. And those parts of the brain that are related to contentment are activated. And the way that we can keep those activated when we're not doing a task is to remain in the present. And one way to do that is through meditation. Funny, what have we been talking about? And finally, the next is exercise. And I know if you're depressed or you're sad or you're stuck in the house, it could be hard to exercise. 10 push-ups, anything you can do. Sometimes when you're depressed and sad, you just want to sleep. And that's okay. Because if your body's telling you to sleep, sleep is better than wallowing in your depression. So sleep if you can, if you have time. But don't deride yourself for that, because that's just going to make it worse. But the other reason why I say to sleep if you need to, certainly make an effort to get exercise in and make that a goal. But the final strategy is sleep. So make sure you're getting enough sleep. If your body needs to sleep, sleep. Don't try to fight your body, because your body is trying to survive. Your body is trying to get you through this life. So if you're fighting with it all the time, this is not going to be so good. So next, we're going to go to Tasha Silver, Outrageous Openness, and see what she has to say on page 182. So there are 2 quotes. First, from the Gospel of St. Thomas, if you call forth what is in you, it will save you. If you do not call forth what is in you, it will destroy you. That's beautiful. So introspect, go inside. Listen to yourself, listen to your body, talk to your higher power, your higher spirit, your higher self, and align with that. If not, yeah, it will destroy you. You'll be totally miserable, right? According to Abraham Hicks, your feeling of discomfort and misery is really because you're not agreeing with your higher self. So when you feel upset, that's a sign to you that, right, those painful emotions aren't negative. They're a sign. You got to listen to the sign that something's not aligned and you need to look at it differently. Now, this next quote by Anonymous: no one can give you what you don't feel willing to receive yourself. Yes. Oh my goodness. Holy moly. Holy cow. So if you don't love yourself, guess what? That's what you need to do, because that's the answer. If you're not willing to love yourself, why should anyone else, right? No one's going to save you. No one could love you into happiness. It's not a thing. It could do it for a couple years, but after that, the studies show, and I've found that in my own relationships, where you get that happiness boost for a year. The first year is great, second year not so much, and then right back to normal. So if you are seeking a relationship thinking that's the answer, I'm here to tell you that it's not. But try it. See for yourself. That's how we learn, right? Through experience. Go for it. You just might want to tell the other person. Give them a heads up like, hey, I'm using you because you make me happy, and I'm not really happy. How do you feel about that? And if they're also broken, they'll be okay with that. If they're not, they'll run. Try to help you maybe a little bit and then run. So you do you, boo. Lesson 128, water drawing us. When the lightning of love for the beloved falls from heaven and strikes the heart, know that love is also firing that heart. And when the love for him brims over in your heart, know that love for you is also brimming in his. Can the sound of clapping come only from one hand? When a thirsty man moans, "Oh water, oh delicious water," this thirst that is in all our souls is the water drawing us always to it. We belong to it, and it belongs to us. Jalal-ud-Din Rumi, translated by Andrew Harvey, A Year of Rumi. Just what we were talking about, right? The love of self, the oneness, the source, the higher self, the higher spirit. Yeah, that's where love is found. Beautiful. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. I will be found by you, declares the Lord. Jeremiah 29:13-14. I mean, everything today I feel like is all saying the same thing in a different way. It's awesome. Come quickly, Lord, and answer me, for my depression deepens. Don't turn away from me, or I will die. Let me hear of your unfailing love to me in the morning, for I am trusting you. Show me where to walk, for I have come to you in prayer. Psalm 143:7-8. From the ends of the earth, I will cry to you for help, for my heart is overwhelmed. Lead me to the towering rock of safety. Psalm 61:2. He heals the brokenhearted, binding up their wounds. Psalm 147:3. Lesson 129, Eternal Wine. Before any garden or grape or wine existed in this world, our soul was drunk on eternal wine. In the Baghdad of pre-eternity, we all proclaimed ecstatically, I am the supreme reality. Long before the scandal and mystery of Mansur al-Hallaj. I don't know what that is, but I guess I could look it up if you can too. From Jalal Uddin Rumi, translated by Andrew Harvey, A Year of Rumi. That's amazing. I mean, I don't know, how did he know all this amazing stuff already? I like the eternal wine because I like red wine. So it makes me feel better. He who guards his lips guards his life, but he who speaks rashly will come to ruin. Proverbs 13:3. Ain't that the truth? Been there, done that. Sisters, brothers. All right. Have a good day. Peace out.